This episode of the Swirl Suite is brought to you in part by Audible. Don't have time to read about wine? Audible goes wherever you go. Listen to wine education books, novels about wine, or even wine mysteries. Right now, I'm listening to a novel called Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Danler. I listen through Audible at the gym, driving, even walking my dog. Download Audible now for your free trial with a special Swirl Suite code. That's audibletrial.com/Swirl Suite. Cheers. Welcome to the Swirl Suite, everybody. It's me and Tanisha today. Happy Wine Wednesday.
Happy Wine Wednesday.
So what's going on? How was your Easter? Tell me what you drank.
My Easter was good. Hung out with some friends. A good friend of mine wanted to have like a meal at her place. So she was like, okay, everybody bring something. And then she's like, I need more control than that. I don't like this. Y'all just bring a dessert and a drink. I'll make all the food. I'm like, cool. You know, I was just bringing wine anyway. So I was very excited about my wine. I went to a wine shop that I like and where I know the owner. So I went in there, had a nice discussion with her. And she was like, oh, I have something really interesting. You might want to try it. It's from the Loire. I said, okay, great. It was a Blanc de Noir.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a white wine vinified from Pinot Noir grapes.
Okay.
But it was still. So I was like extra hype about it. It was delicious. And this particular producer also does a Pinot Noir, a regular red Pinot Noir from their Pinot Noir grapes. But I had never had a white Pinot Noir. So not rosé, I mean completely white.
Yeah.
And completely still. It was amazing. It was not citrus fruit, more tree fruit, nice acidity, tart flavors on like the back palate, but then still not citrus. Because it's weird to say tart, but
Right.
then I think lemon or lime, but it wasn't that, and it wasn't grapefruit. It was like a tart apple, and pear, and then no oak.
Mm-hmm.
No creaminess, so like no malolactic fermentation or anything like that. But it was amazing. I'm like, I'll have to buy this again.
That sounds really interesting because, I've had a white cab before.
Okay.
And that was very interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that it was a white Cabernet Sauvignon. I forgot where. It might be California. I forgot. But I wrote about it on my blog, findmeup.com, if you want to check it out.
Plug. What in the world? No,
but yeah, I like when they're made like that. It makes things really interesting because your palate is used to tasting things a certain way, and it sort of throws you a little bit. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And it was also interesting because it's something that I probably wouldn't like. I liked the label because it was just very simple. Moulin Blanc, so white windmill. And then it had a picture of like a windmill on it and just solid white and then like black block lettering. And since it is a Pinot Noir and it's made white, it can't be an AOC. So it can't be that high level because it wouldn't get approved because it's not traditional.
Right.
So it already has a start as an IGP. And I actually think it's a Vin de France. So like at the bottom level. So something I might not have gone to on my own and definitely not paid like a double-digit price for at that low level. But since it's interesting and since it's Blanc de Noir, so that's why it's good to know your shop owners or people who work in these wine shops so they can point you to these kind of things, because that's something that I would not have looked at. I would have just glossed over, not paid attention to, not noticed that the label said Blanc de Noir. I'd have just looked at that as like, oh, that's the name, and wouldn't have thought anything else about it. But yeah, there are a couple other cool things she had in there that I need to go back and try.
So the white cab that I wrote about is from Moldova. Am I saying that right? Moldova. Yes. That's where it was from. It's very interesting.
Oh, very interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So my
Tasting
Easter
outside your comfort zone. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. My Easter was pretty basic. All the basic foods, fried chicken, greens, deviled eggs.
Are those
You know.
basic Easter foods?
Typically we have lamb, but my family does not appreciate lamb.
Okay, because we
So
had lamb. And
yeah.
it's funny because she was like, I want fried chicken. Maybe I'll make fried chicken. I was like, is that for Easter though?
Well, I'm
I don't know.
I am non-traditional. My family is non-traditional. Girl, we would eat all seafood on Easter. It really doesn't matter. But no, there was ham.
Okay. I miss big
and
dinners
cheese.
like that though.
Do you?
I'm sorry, I keep yawning.
Well, it sounds
Bless
like
me.
you had a big dinner. If y'all had lamb, what else did y'all have?
Lamb, broccoli casserole, potatoes.
Well, hold on. What the fuck is broccoli casserole?
Broccoli with cheese on it.
Is it baked like in a casserole dish?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of such. I've heard of, string bean casserole. And
Which,
usually people of color don't make that, but
right, which I always see that at Thanksgiving with them little French fried onion strings around the edges.
Right.
And the casserole part, like, I don't know if it's cheese that makes it, but like it always looks gross and like slimy. So I don't mess with it.
I understand. Oh, tell me real quick about your kava video.
Oh, so that came
Wait,
from...
can you see me? No.
Oh, not yet.
Not yet.
Hold on. Okay. Now can you see me? Are we...
No.
You're probably really close to getting us to see you, though.
Right.
Can you guys see me? Hear?
We can hear you.
Now.
Yeah, it's a little camera button.
There
it is.
I haven't used Skype in a really long time.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
good.
Well. Thank you very much. So welcome to the Swirl Suite.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I've never been on a podcast before.
What?
Yeah, what? We popped your cherry. Uh-oh.
Welcome.
And so, Lea, I'm Sarita, and that's Tanisha. So I'm at Vine Me Up, and Tanisha as Girl Meets Glass, and we welcome you to the Swirl Suite.
Thank you. Cheers. I
Cheers.
just like...
And I told...
Cheers.
Yes, I told... this is what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a Zen from Klein. Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
I told...
Castleroy Cava. It's one of my favorite cavas.
Kava!
And Tanisha was just about to tell us a kava story.
Yes, I did for today I do a wine on Wednesday on YouTube, and today's post was about kava because I was in Tarragona, Spain, and in February. So this video's a little late, sorry. But I spoke with our tour guide who does the wine tours, and he was talking about kava, and he told me some things that I did not know. And, I'll admit when I don't know things about things. And he also had a really good explanation about the grapes of kava and how they're used and what they're for. Like, one of the grapes is for like the bones and the muscle and the structure, and then the other one is like the nice Armani suit you put on top of it, and then the other grape is like the accessories, the earrings, the glasses, the hats, the makeup. And so I like that explanation.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was in Spain as well a couple of years ago, and I went to a couple of kava caves.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been a huge fan.
Because it's delicious, yes.
Because it's great.
It's just, I prefer it over Prosecco any day.
Oh, come on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, do you prefer it over champagne?
No.
I thought that's what she was going to say, and I was going to be like, well, thanks for joining our podcast. This was fun, and good night. Control-Alt-Delete. Thank you.
My favorite thing in the world, like second to my child. Okay.
Well.
I don't have kids, so number one.
And so before we go any further, please introduce yourself and tell us all about your business.
Yes. My name is Lea Faith Williams. I'm the owner and founder of Let's Talk Wine in New York City, based in New York City. And I do customize in-home wine events. I do them in homes and in offices. And I basically come with 5 wines. Typically, it's a sparkling, 2 reds, and 2 whites. And we taste through the wines and we talk about them. And what really sets Let's Talk Wine apart is that I've been doing this since before in-home wine tastings were like Tupperware parties. Mm-hmm. I'm not selling anything. I just really like to talk about the wine, and I like to share my knowledge. And I'm kind of a wine geek. And people are intimidated when you go to a restaurant. You don't want a som to shove an expensive bottle down your throat. You may not know what you're even getting. But when you're at home or you're even in your office and someone is there just with wine wanting to answer your questions, people have a lot of questions. And I really love to do that without having to sell anything. I don't like to sell.
Yeah.
So
me neither.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm been in business since 2012.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
growing and growing. So yeah, it's like my other baby.
Gotcha. So how exactly did you get into the wine industry?
Well, I was from California. I was actually accepted to a performing arts conservatory. And I obviously started working in a lot of restaurants. Mm-hmm. And I worked in some really nice high-end restaurants and met some interesting French people. It started with French that would let me taste wine and talk to me about it and say, you should taste this. And this is what you're tasting. And this is from this region. And that's why it tastes like this. And it just really, my love of wine started from there. And eventually I was hired on as a floor manager at a wine bar in Midtown. And they were really, really impressed with my wine knowledge. They sponsored my training at the American Sommelier Association and Society of Wine Educators. And by the time I left there, I was their wine director. So I had revamped their entire wine list. And I did regular trainings for the staff. And I did a lot of wine tastings for guests that would come in. Just as an addition to a private event, you could have a sommelier guided wine tasting, and all those things are still in place now. It's a very successful program for them, even though I'm not with them anymore. But I really love wine, and being a woman in wine, I realized when I was the person that was doing the buying, no one even took me seriously because I'm a woman and I'm young, or they thought I was younger than I am. But I'm the one that can have your wine being poured by the glass. Mm-hmm. And in a very, very busy establishment in the Midtown Manhattan. And people would not really talk to me.
Yeah. And they're like, excuse me, can I talk to your wine director, please?
Yeah.
You're like, sure, let me get him. And you turn around and they come back, yes, how may I help you?
Exactly.
Hi.
So it's really frustrating even now when I have potential clients and they want to grill me because they may think that I don't know anything about wine. And I think it's because I'm a woman and I'm a Black woman, and this is a male dominated industry. And so that's unfortunate. But I think that women relate better. And also women are the major buyers of wine.
Mm.
Yep.
Spend
it's
more
been
money.
said that we have better palates too.
We do. Well, we
clearly
have a better sense of smell, which means we do have a better palate.
Mm-hmm.
So, we should get more credit.
Yeah.
So you said people grill you. What's like the craziest thing someone has asked you? I know that's something that you like just keep in your mind. Like, I can't believe this dude tried it.
It's really a matter of like, well, what kind of things do you talk about? Well, it's a wine tasting. So we're going to talk about regions. You want to do French regions? You want to do France? You want to do just France? Or do you want to do Spain? We can talk about regions. It's boring to most people to go really in depth in my tastings. So I've had people say, well, do you know about Châteauneuf du Pape, or where is that? And of course I know where Châteauneuf du Pape is. Come on, that's not even like, or I've had someone ask me, what makes champagne champagne?
Oh God.
Like, really? It just comes from champagne. No, there's a whole process that goes behind it, and there are only specific grapes that can go into champagne. And just people really, it's very annoying. It doesn't happen as often now, but at least once or twice a year, someone will want to grill me on my wine knowledge. And then it makes me not want to do their event, but also I don't say no to money, so I'll be there.
Exactly. Right, like pay me.
Pay me. Ask me all the questions and pay me.
But no, people try it. It's weird the kind of questions that you'll get. And sometimes I wonder if it's like, are you trying to grill me, or are you trying to seem smarter than you are about wine? Or like you trying to prove like, no, I don't really need you because I read 2 issues of the Wine Advocate, and so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no.
Because anybody who asks, about like, oh, so what do you know about Chateauneuf du Pape? Well, what do you know about Chateauneuf du Pape?
Isn't that the question?
Yeah, whenever people bring up certain, like, I feel like Chateauneuf du Pape is like a buzz region, that if you have read about wine like twice, or if you have just heard about wines that are expensive or something like that, or someone's like, yeah, so what do you know about Chateau, or what do you know about Petrus, or what about Haute Medoc? What do you know about this? I'm like, okay, sir.
Right. Or when people will want to ask questions about the differences between right and left bank Bordeaux. And I love talking about these things, but I think also even in my events, I know that wine can be boring if you're not that into it. If you come to a wine tasting and you really just want to get to the wine, I'm not going to go way in depth. But if you want to come and talk to me, that's why I'm there. Yeah. I want to wine geeks. I want to answer your questions and all things. I'm not going to go super in depth during my tastings when it's for the general population.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like our show. Like some episodes are super wine nerdy and other ones are not. So we're kind of the both of the best worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance.
It is.
Because you're right. Everyone does not want to hear that. Some people at the end of the day, they just want to know, like, okay, here's this bottle. Okay, not this bottle because this is water. But they're just like, okay, here's this bottle. It says this. What's in it? So it says Bataille Montrachet. What is in here? Is this a Chardonnay? Is it a Sauvignon Blanc? Is it what is this? Right. And so if you could just give people that information, they're good. But most people are not wanting to talk climate and soil type and like, oh wait, is this an AR? What is this? An A127 rootstock? And then is that grafted onto the American style of rootstock? Or how do they do that?
American regions, because you'll be completely lost because they're like,
oh my god,
it's not consistent.
Like the rules. Well, that's one thing. Yeah, I don't have to talk about American regions anymore, so I'll fridge all the time.
People really love. I think I do more old world versus new world wine tastings than anything, because people Americans love their really buttery Chardonnays, and a lot of people don't even realize Chardonnay is and it's grown all over the world, and it's
literally all over the world.
Yeah.
Literally, it is the grape that is grown all over the world.
I'm pretty sure you can grow a Chardonnay in your bathtub.
Is it still the number one planted grape in the U.S.?
It is.
Yeah.
And I have also been at an in-home tasting where someone wanted to taste their made wine.
No.
And it was
Tell us how that went.
I didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it.
That would have made me so nervous.
It's okay. At the end of the tasting, we'll taste it. And I was just like, gosh, please, no. And when he opened it and poured it in the glass, I could smell that and it wasn't turned. It was just
bad.
He didn't know what he was doing. He needs to try again.
Yeah. And he was like, well, this has been resting in my garage for 3 years. It was, and I said, maybe continue to let it rest. Don't open another bottle.
It's not going to change ever, but it's still going to be nasty. But you know what?
And maybe don't quit your day job.
Right. Like, did you let it rest open? Was it sitting under the exhaust of your car? Like,
right.
What happened? Like, where did you go wrong here, sir?
So I
It
have a
was
question
bad.
for you guys. What do you do when you're invited to a dinner party? Everybody knows that you work in wine and
Mm.
they want to show off. And so they're pouring some horrible wines at this dinner party. What do? You don't want to drink it because you don't like it. What do you
Oh,
do?
this happens to me often. I
Does
asked, do
it?
they have gin? This happens to me
Really?
a lot. Not anymore because like everything is good here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but before this used to happen to me a lot, and I would just ask, did they have gin? And I would just drink a gin and tonic.
Mm.
I'm like, oh, I have to do something with wine, or I had so much wine earlier
Oh,
today
that's a
with
good
whatever I
one.
was
I got to
doing.
use that.
So if I could get do you have any gin? If I could just do a gin and tonic, or most people have vodka in their house. If I could just
Right.
do a vodka soda, I just want to refresh my palate and that's how I'm
See,
gonna carry it
my
tonight.
friends,
Do
they
that.
know that I'm in wine, and
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing. So normally they will ask me. 9 times out of 10, they will ask me. But
Okay.
I have a group of friends that I go on vacation with. We were the first year we went to Martha's Vineyard, and they were like, "Oh, we always drink so much wine," and I was like, "Really? I should choose the wine because,
Y'all don't know what y'all doing.
you know why? Tell me your budget." But they didn't, and I looked at what they brought, and I was like, "Yeah, nope."
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I just didn't drink it. I
Right.
think they have said, "Oh, this is good for sangria."
Oh,
It just
Yeah.
didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just and we had a great time. I bought my own wine,
Yep.
and I usually do bring wine.
Mm-hmm.
I will usually bring my own wine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
tough because I've been in situations rather often lately where people will stare. Like some people will stare like, "Oh, I bought that bottle." And then, "Oh, let me pour you some." And then they'll watch me. I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
Right.
Really?
And Sarita's face
Yes.
tells everything.
Yeah, it's been
Sarita be
yeah.
drinking it and be like,
It's happened a few times. Yeah.
yeah, it won't
Yeah.
go well.
People are so
So
excited and they'll just
I normally just do like the swirl and sniff.
Mm-hmm.
Say, "Oh yeah, mm-hmm." And
Yeah.
and do you
I don't even
Yeah.
try. My
Good
face is gonna
pointers.
tell everything.
Very
You're gonna know
good
I thought it was
pointers.
nasty. So,
that happened to me on national television?
Oh
oh
no.
no.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I was asked to come on and taste blue wine.
Oh, okay. I've had it
Oh,
a few
that.
times. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to do it 2 days in a row. So the first time I did it, I tasted the wine on national television. And people were tweeting me saying, "It's clear that you didn't like that wine." And I was trying not to react. But it was really terrible. It didn't
Okay.
smell that bad. It smelled like a Riesling with like a bit of residual sugar.
Mhm.
But when you tasted it, it was awful. And so when they cut the commercial, I was just like, "Oh gosh, that tastes like wine that's been sweetened with like that's mixed with Kool-Aid that's been made with sweet and low."
Mm.
It was terrible.
Oh.
And then the next day on national television, when we did it again, the host was like, "So now you said this tasted like Kool-Aid that had been made."
Oh.
I'd be like, I said that to who? I'd be like, that's what you said. Don't put words in
That
my
was
mouth. I
off
would've
the
got right.
record. How did you not
Yeah.
know that?
Right. I'd be like, so listen, do you not know what off the record means, sir or ma'am?
I was just like, I'm trying to be diplomatic here, and you just,
Wow.
it was Fox. So that's.
So
Well,
how did
yeah.
you respond to that? Were you just like,
I tried to laugh it off, and I was like, well, it's not my particular taste, but, and anyway, I think I may have also mentioned this probably wouldn't be sold here in the States just because by law, you can't have additives and call it wine. So it wouldn't be in a wine section. It wouldn't make it here. So it's okay. It was awful. It was so terrible.
Oh my gosh. So, do you have like, how a lot of people here they're sort of married to a wine region. Do you have a particular wine region that you like above all others?
I do. If it's not Champagne, I am a French wine lover. I really love Beaujolais. I
Mm.
really love Beaujolais, Fleury's, and just like it. I love even just like a Beaujolais Village. Just
Mm.
I love Beaujolais.
So underrated.
Yeah,
Yes.
it
City
is.
man.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But if I have to choose, I'm gonna go with a Beaujolais. They're so food friendly and they just have really nice structure,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have it with anything
Yep.
across the like your entire meal. So champagne, I would like to have every single day for the rest of my life until I die. But if I can't do that, it would be Beaujolais
Nice.
without a doubt.
Very
Yes.
nice. What's your favorite wine region to visit?
Um, interestingly enough, I love visiting in Europe. I've been to Italy, I've been to Spain. I actually haven't been to France yet.
Hmm.
But and I'm not a California wine drinker, but I really like when I go to California, and I'm originally from California, so I go often.
Mm-hmm.
I really love just stopping just when I'm driving through the coast or anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
tasting wine and discovering like little gems that are really delicious that you can't really get outside of California, and they're well made, and you go to these boutique wineries and you get to meet the winemakers and understand what their vision is with their wine. So it's kind of one of my favorite things to do, and I like going through the Central Coast, not so much the big commercial Napa, Sonoma,
Sure.
Santa Barbara,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but I love Paso Robles and Central California. There's some really great hidden gems that you'll find there.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to Maryland or Virginia wineries yet?
I have not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta
I
come out and see us.
yeah.
I have tasted wine from Virginia.
Hmm.
I think it was I feel like it may have been a Chardonnay.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, New York has really beautiful wines.
They
Believe it or
do.
not.
They do.
They
They
do.
do.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of New York wines because people are just like, ugh. And
Yeah. Yeah.
People kind of get like that about anything that isn't like California
California
or
or
like
France.
Oregon,
Yeah.
like things that they know.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when it
Right.
comes to the States, they're like, oh, wait, this isn't California or Oregon, maybe Washington State.
Yeah.
They might
exactly,
be,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
drink that a little. But
upstate New York it makes beautiful wines,
yeah.
more old world style.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, Rieslings that will blow you away. That
Yeah.
can stand up
Yeah.
to anything you get out of Alsace or Germany.
Yeah.
And I really like to bring those to tastings because people don't realize what lovely wines are made here in New York.
Sure.
And also, most people have in their mind what a Riesling is.
Yeah.
And it's usually not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
So-
the thing that is hard for, and I think this is wineries, wine regions across the board when it comes to smaller wineries, is just trying to get the wines to the people.
Mm-hmm.
In order for you to get an upstate New York wine, you're not just going in necessarily the grocery store. Like you can't just go
Right.
get your, dinner, pick up your beef, your potatoes, your whatever, and then go get a wine from New York in the
Right.
store. So people are like, oh wait, I have to like plan and go to a special shop. I have to go to an actual wine shop, whether it be a big box,
Right.
wine shop or a smaller shop. It's like a whole extra step.
Right.
And then they go in that wine shop and then they see aisle upon aisle upon aisle of wine. And then it's like, okay, now what? Do I just grab one? This label is pretty. I'm going to take this one.
Right.
Ooh. What should I wear? What? So I think that comes into it. And then I think that's where we all come in, and that we talk about wine. We help educate people about wine and get them to step outside of their comfort zone and try something else.
Yeah, and
Right.
it also depends on what city you're in because the grocery stores and like the Costco's in DC, they have local wine. They have local spirits and local wine. So it really depends on your accessibility and what city you're in also.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
because New York, in New York, you can't get wine in this supermarket. Period.
At all? Really?
Oh no. So you have to go to a wine store that only sells wine and liquor, no beer. You can buy beer in the supermarket, but you can't buy wine.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They're trying to change it. I don't I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. I love walking into a supermarket and being just, the wine section is over here. It's my favorite thing. So my parents, I can go to Walgreens.
Yeah.
Get like a decent bottle of wine at Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I miss about home.
Yeah. Definitely Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm at the Walgreens like, yes, I want to get this bottle of wine. I want 2 steaks and some Bombay Sapphire. Thank you.
And call it a day.
Right. And a pack of Big Red. And I'm out. Like, it's fine.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So I do really like to try and open people's minds to different regions. And New York does have a bad rap because there is some bad wine. Mm-hmm. And I will even say the wine is expensive. Here.
Yeah.
And it's good, but I can usually get something that I know without a doubt is going to be amazing for less.
Yeah, that's the part that's a hard sell. When a lot of the local regions, their wine is coming in at 20, 25, 30 a bottle. Yeah. And you know for sure you can get some from Chile for $7.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Or, you know, your wine from Uruguay or I'm trying to think of other lower cost regions. Because, you know, if you're thinking your California wines, like those can be expensive too.
They can.
Well, yeah. And the thing is that, you know, when you're also on the other hand, when you're in California only imports 18% of their wine.
Yeah.
And so really.
I'm not playing with y'all.
Yeah. Like all you get is California wine and very popular, well-known wines from outside of California. Yeah. So you can get a lot of variety of California wines at different price points in California.
Yeah.
And that's all you're going to get.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I really like wine bars. And that's really how I expand my palate. But I just found out today that
what you found out, girl?
This wine bar in Alexandria, Virginia. It used to be called Grape and Bean. So it's like wine and coffee and it has small bites.
I remember Grape and Bean.
Yes. It is going to be 100% bubbles. They are turning into a champagne and wine bar.
Oh, you might lose it.
Yeah. So.
Well, there goes Sarita's paycheck.
Just saying. I'm glad I'm not close, but yeah. That's going to be dangerous.
Do they have free Wi-Fi? That's going to be the spot. Do y'all have Wi-Fi? I'm not leaving.
Man.
I love wine bars. And even when I was like a buyer for a wine bar, it was great. Wine bars, so you're expected to have variety.
Yeah.
You're expected to have all different regions and you have that flexibility to try new things and put new things on your list. But I learned after my first year that consumers don't step that far out of their safety zone.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't go too far off the beaten path or you will have a lot of inventory that's not.
Yeah. You have to kind of ease them into things. Mm-hmm. I found the easiest way to, I won't say change their palate, but to get them to try something new is either take a winery that they're already familiar with and get them something different from there, or a grape that they like and give them that same grape from a different region, so they can taste the difference, get a little more acclimated with why things are different, you know, things like that. That'll get them kind of out of their comfort zone a bit.
Yeah, I also find, you know, flavor profiles. Sure. So if you like, you know, Chardonnay. Have you tried Arnaise? It's from Piedmont. Mm-hmm. You might like this as a full medium to full-bodied white wine. Has some of the same qualities, not typically oak. But if you like this, then you might try that. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of for me, it was a lot of staff training and training the staff to say, yeah, no, we don't have a Pinot Grigio on the list, but why don't you try a Suave?
Yeah.
Or Valangina today.
Yeah.
So things like that.
Yeah.
Because if people don't have that go-to option, they are going to refer to whoever is serving them.
Yeah, you're right. So my next question is actually for both of you, because Tanisha, I don't think I know this about you, but how do y'all like y'all rosés?
Bone dry, Provence. That's it. I mean, rosé is like summer in a glass and wet rocks, if you ask me. It should be like fruity and some minerality and light. And that is what I want. That's it.
Got it.
If it tastes sweet to me, I will be like, why did you give me this California rosé?
What about you, Tanisha?
So, last summer, I started getting into the rosé à piscine. So, I take my rosé with ice. And that is legit how, like, it's served. So, that's how I take it. That's how I like it now. I like it super, super cold. Sometimes I may just put the ice in and swirl it around and then pull the ice out.
Right.
It depends. If it's a sweeter rosé, I'll let the ice stay in there, melt a little bit. It's fine. I don't care. Usually, I drink it fast enough that the ice doesn't melt inside of the glass, so it's fine. But yeah, I also like it very dry.
Yeah, rosé. I cannot have rosé unless it's ice cold. Like that is one of the few wines that it is meant to be served.
Yeah.
Not cold. It needs to be cold.
Yeah.
It needs to be cold. It's light. It's cold. It's refreshing. And it needs to be hot outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that it snowed on Sunday, and when I walked to the wine store, they have all these rosés. It's not warm here in New York. Why are you
No.
It's not rosé.
Yeah, it's not rosé season here yet because it is not shelves and shelves of just pink stuff. So I still go in the wine shop and it's just red and white.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, in the summer it turns to rosés and boxes of wine.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when rosé was allocated. Like, they come in March, and between March and end of April, the rosés start coming in, and you had to order your rosés before they got here because it was allocated. That was it, and when it's gone, it's gone. And now, since America has discovered rosé, you see it year-round, which I think is a bit blasphemous. And it's so much, and it's everywhere, and it's not good rosé.
Yeah.
It's not quality, and people are buying it and just drinking it.
Yeah, rosé sales are crazy in the States. Rosé sales have gone up like exponentially. I think they said like in the triple-digit increase, percentage increase, and no one can understand why. No one's like, oh yeah, so it's like this or this, because usually when there's an increase in things, it's like
a reason for the trend.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no one's drinking Merlot anymore because this dude from a movie said don't drink it. So like it's nothing like that really when it comes to rosé, especially rosé across the board.
I mean, I remember when they were like, oh my gosh, there's a rosé shortage. And I was like, what? And I was teaching wine class at a wine store downtown at the time. And literally a lady was like, I'm going to the Hamptons and I need to get some rosé. And they're all out up in the Hamptons. I was like, they were out of rosé in the Hamptons for real? That's so weird. But we only had like 6 bottles left. And she's like, I'm buying 4.
Huh.
And it was like towards the end of the summer, so what difference does it make? But I think that it's an easy wine. I mean, Americans are new to wine. We are very new wine drinkers. We are predominantly spirit drinkers. And so the millennials are wine drinkers and spending money on wine. You can get rosé reasonably priced. It's light. It's fruity. So even people that don't like something super dry, like super dry will like rosé.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like something really sweet, you can drink rosé.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good, easy way for people to meet in the middle when it comes to drinking wine.
Yeah.
And it's cold in the summer. You can chill the hell out of it and not taste it if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's easy. But I can't with people drinking rosé in like December.
Now, if it's bubbles, I'll drink rosé bubbles all year long.
Of
But
course.
like just regular rosé, like I'm never ordering that if it's not. No.
Not
Yeah.
We have a rosé cruise here. That
I like the sound of this.
Okay.
it's really amazing. They started with the cruise maybe 5 years ago, and now they do events throughout the year, rosé events throughout the year. So they do a big rosé picnic, and they do all sorts of things. But they have over 100 different rosés and cruise around Manhattan, and there's live music, and then there's chefs, and it's amazing, and it's so much fun. It kind of like kicks off the summer.
Okay.
But I'm worried this year because it's in May, and as of yet we haven't even seen spring. I don't know if I want to.
It's still about to be cold.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna have on like pink sweaters.
Yeah, it's supposed
At your rosé
to
cruise.
snow this weekend, so this weather is just like super weird.
Global warming.
Yeah.
It's not real, so it can't be that. It's not that at all.
On that note,
harvest about to start being in like July.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Ugh.
But then I don't know. It'll have to be pushed back now because the crazy thing is, I'm about to get nerdy for just a second, because we keep getting these cold snaps and these snow when like birds are supposed to be breaking and things are supposed to be happening in the vineyard and they can't.
Right.
Or like when the birds are supposed to break, they actually freeze, and so then they can't even turn into grapes. So you have like a lot of people that have like a lot lower yield this
not
year
happening
because of that.
It's not happening in California. So
that's happening here. Sorry.
That's happening here. And I think that we'll be okay. Being from California and I'm from Fresno, which is like a big farm. And it was always, it's too cold or it's too hot. It's a desert. Like it's they have enough rain. It's always going to be too hot and everything is still fine.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be okay. But humans need it to not be winter anymore.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I wonder how Maryland and Virginia will do, especially with snow, late when they're trying to get certain things going.
Yeah, I know. Their concern around this time of the year is just the frost. So, we'll see what happens. So, we got some rapid random questions for you that we will end the show with.
Oh, I didn't see these, so I don't know what they're going to be today.
And Tanisha, you know what? Tanisha, you can jump in there too, okay?
Jump in there and what? Answer them?
Answer them, yeah, because I don't think...
Ooh, girl.
These are different. Okay.
And I haven't seen them in advance, so
you have not seen them in advance.
I don't have any prepared
Oh my gosh, it's not that deep.
commentary.
Okay.
All right.
Rooftop or fire pit?
Rooftop. I'm a New Yorker. I need a rooftop and glass.
Fire pit.
Fire pit. I love it. Okay. How do you like your veggies? Roasted or sauteed?
Oh, that's rough. Because I love veggies. It's but I'm not roasting anything in the summer.
Okay.
So
I'd probably say sauteed just because it's easier. Like I would literally just put it in that pan and go sit down somewhere for a second. And I don't have an oven, so I can't roast anything anymore. So forget it.
It's easy. It's an easy
solution. There's that.
Okay.
Next question.
All right. What's the first thing you noticed about a potential mate?
I can't say it out loud.
Shut up. Now we really want to know.
No, I noticed how tall he was or wasn't.
So his height.
Yes.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's the first thing. I like, if it's a physical thing, I look at the shoulders because I like guys like broad. Yeah.
Okay.
Really nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I probably made sure he had all his teeth too, at least in the front.
Well, that's important.
At least in the front.
That's important.
And they were fairly straight.
Okay. Home fries or grits for breakfast?
Home fries.
That's hard. I love grits and home fries if they're crispy. If they're soggy home fries, you can keep them. I don't know.
Home fries all the way.
Okay.
I love potatoes are my food group.
So how do you like your home fries? You like them cut up like old school style with the onion, or do you like them shredded like hash brown?
See,
like
are those home fries?
Yeah, in some places those are home fries.
Those are not home fries. I like them chopped up with onions and peppers.
Okay.
Oh, we like.
Wait,
oh, she'll come. Wait, we can't see her. She'll come back.
Okay. Oh my God. This.
Jeez. Take them chopped up, and I like them crispy.
Okay.
See, because if they're not crispy, they're not home fries. Take them back.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. Okay.
And don't make them a patty either. No, not a patty.
No, that
like don't serve it to me like one big long tater tot. No, this is stupid. I don't want it. Like if I want that, I'll go to McDonald's and get a hash brown patty. That's what it is. All right.
Okay. What is your go-to cocktail?
Vodka gimlet up with fresh lime juice and this just a touch of simple syrup.
Very nice. Very refreshing.
So delicious.
So I'm more difficult. I'm just kidding. My go-to probably a gin and tonic because I mean my favorite cocktail is different than that, but my go-to would probably be a gin and tonic because like can you mess that up? Not really. Okay. Not really. And everyone's going to have the ingredients. Because if you don't, you should close your bar down. You should stop serving drinks.
Okay, so this last question is for Lea. What are your favorite drinking spots in New York?
So I really like to drink at Isa. That's the wine bar that I used to manage.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the bar in the Baccarat Hotel in Midtown. They have amazing cocktails, and everything's served in Baccarat crystal, and it just
it just sounds super classy.
It does.
It isn't, but
I'd be like, can I get in here?
Hotel bars are never super classy, but you feel like you are when you're there. And then on the top of the Peninsula Hotel, there's this it's a beautiful rooftop, and it's so high up, and you can just see the entire city.
Nice.
Amazing. Yes.
New York is kind of notorious for a rooftop, very known for a rooftop. So I definitely see that a lot on social media in the summer.
Yeah.
We love
people on the roof. Yeah.
And then there's one other place that I like to go. It's called the Frying Pan. It's a boat. The boat that doesn't go anywhere. And it's just kind of docked in the Hudson River. And so you just go and they have overpriced everything. But
you're on a boat.
You're on the water.
But you're on the water and it's just...
You're paying for the boat.
Yeah. You are. A lot.
I love it. I love it. Well, Lea, thank you so much for joining us today. This was great.
Awesome.
Tell everybody where they can follow you on social media.
Yeah, so I am Lovely Wine Lady on Twitter and Instagram, and Let's Talk Wine on YouTube. I post videos in the summer. They start in May, so I'm going to be filming soon, and I do new videos every Tuesday. Try it Tuesdays. So so Let's Talk Wine on YouTube and Lovely Wine Lady on Instagram and Twitter. I rarely tweet. I think it's lame.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, wonderful. Well, you have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
you. Good night.
Cheers. Well, that was cute and pleasurable.
So there's that.
Hi guys, that wraps up the show. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, like us on SoundCloud, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Send us any questions or concerns at swirlsuite.com. Any ideas? Let us know. Cheers.